Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. For today's review, we're going to take a look at the Halo 4 Didact by McFarlane Toys. And here's the packaging for Didact. I did buy this guy secondhand, so he's already out of the box, but I'll show you the box anyway. So there's a lot of writing on the front, and there's a large window for you to see the figure inside. And the window also wraps around to the top, so you can see the top of the figure when it's brand new. And spinning around to the side, you've got the Didact figure here with the alternate head, and on the back you've got other figures that you can buy from the Halo toy line, and again the same photo of Didact on this side, and it's advertising 33 moving pieces and a little bio about Didact. So if you want to read, I might just bring it up closer. If you want to read this, just pause it right there. Didact comes with only one accessory, and that is the interchangeable head that I'm holding right here. So it's a fairly interesting looking head. I must admit I don't play the game, so I don't actually know what this guy is supposed to be. I purchased him purely because I like the design of his suit. The sculpting work seems really nice, and the paint job is quite good as well. You can clearly see his eyes there painted, and it looks quite good actually. Some nice dry brushing detail on the hair, if you could call it that, on the top. And to swap it around, you basically just pop his head off, and okay, and that's his head on. The ball joint for the head is actually very tight, so be careful when you change the head. And this is how it looks with the interchangeable head attached. I must admit, it looks really nice, even though I prefer the helmeted head. And here's a closer look at the figure. I absolutely love this design, and I think the color scheme works really nicely. We've got like a dark silver, gunmetal type grey happening with yellow and orange highlights throughout the figure, so it looks really striking. And these things on his shoulders, they're actually attached to the collarbone, and they are kind of soft, so they can move out of the way if you wish to raise his arm up, so it doesn't interfere with articulation, so that's good. There's other soft pieces throughout his armor as well, so these spiky bits on his arm, they're nice and soft, so they're not going to break. Same as the ones on his heels. And yeah, there's heaps of sculpting detail, really nicely painted. So I'll just spin this guy around and you guys can have a look at the figure itself. Now there are some scuffs on my figure, but I'm not sure if it was like that originally or it was from the previous owner, so I'm not going to comment too much about that. Alright, so with articulation, his head is on a ball joint, so he can look up that far, which is quite good, and he can look down a little bit. He can also rotate his head, but these bits on the side does interfere, so he can't exactly turn his head all the way around. There's also some head tilt action there from side to side, so that's kind of good. Makes the figure a lot more expressive. And coming down to his shoulders, these joints are ratcheted, and he can lift up his arm that far. So basically straight up horizontally. And then it's a pin and hinge, so he can rotate his arm all the way around. No bicep swivel, but there is swivel at the elbows, and it's only a single jointed elbow, and it gives him a little bit less than 90 degrees. He's got ratcheted wrist joint as well, and it's pin and hinged, so he can turn his wrist in all the way and obviously rotate. And he's got articulated fingers, so each of these fingers are individually articulated at the knuckle. So he has he actually has, I guess, 6 fingers or 5 fingers and a thumb, and 4 of those fingers are articulated, so that's really nice. And he has a diaphragm joint which allows him to rotate his upper body, and not so much in terms of crunch. So this is as far as he can crunch forward, and that's as far as he can crunch backwards, and not so much in terms of tilting either, just a little bit. And coming down to his legs, he can lift his leg up that far, but you kind of have to twist it as you lift it up. You see that? You kind of have to twist it as you lift it up, otherwise it doesn't go up very far at all. And then back, same deal, you have to kind of twist it as you lift it back, so it makes his leg go out sideways as well. So it's okay, it's not the best hip joint, and he can only do that much of a split, which is nothing at all, so not great there. No thigh rotation, but again he rotates at the joint here, so he can rotate his lower leg like that, and single jointed knee joint, and that's as far as it bends, and it is ratcheted, so much less than 90 degrees. And with his ankles, he can tilt that far down and that far up, so a little bit limited as well. And there isn't actually a proper ankle pivot, but there is a fake one at the front, so the front of his feet pivots from side to side, but it does get caught up in this armor piece here. Luckily that armor piece is also soft, so it just moves out of the way. In terms of height, Didact comes in at just under 24 centimeters. First up is the Halo 3 Series 3 War Chieftain. Here he is with Halo 4 Series 1 Master Chief from the Cryotube Deluxe set. Here he is with Black Series 6-inch Stormtrooper. Here he is with DC Icons Green Lantern. And finally, here he is with Marvel Legends Shield Agent. Because of its limited articulation, especially in the legs, this guy is definitely more of a display piece than an action figure that I would pick up and pose. But he does look really good on display, so I would recommend this guy to fans of Halo, or for those of you that enjoy intricately designed armored suits. And if you're in the market for one, do your research and try and get one for around or below $80. Otherwise, I think it is a little bit on the expensive side. And that concludes my review of the Halo 4 Didact action figure by McFarlane Toys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks again to everyone that watches my videos, and especially to those of you that has subscribed to my channel. If you haven't already, please do so. It's free, it's easy, and I would really appreciate it. Stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time for another toy review.